Hello, my lovies, my beautiful beings of light, locking down the truth with Marci Lock. Little echoey because I'm starting off with you here in the front of my house because this to me is what I want to share with you guys has been coming through me, and I've noticed I'm like, oh, this is such a sacred space. This is such a I'm going to share with you guys a lot of the things that I do on a daily basis for myself, but the things that I also get to dig into with personal clients, and a lot of sacred things that clear cellular memory, that allow you to activate, to imprint. So we're really looking at how to stop, ask, allow, and receive. So from the moment, I just thought I want to share with you, this is going to make me feel a little bit more comfortable about the space that I'm sharing, what I want to share with you guys. Just first even being in my home. This is where I'm going to share with you kind of some of the sacred things that get to go on. So when you walk in the door, we have this awesome, epic, beautiful, big tree of life symbol, as well as you can see in there, there's the what most people would have deemed as the 69 a long time ago, but that is actually, that is the yin and yang, that is the figure 8, that is the symbol of life, that is the inhale and the exhale. And when you start to understand codes and the sacred geometry and these things that we have, we understand the meaning behind these things, but that is really the tree of life, meaning the knowledge of all things, and the give and the receive, the masculine and the feminine, the flow of life. So that's a great way that we wanted to create the presence for when you first walk in the door. I've got kind of lights down because I'm going to share with you guys inside my ceremony room in here, and it still seems a little bright just from some lights coming out. Yeah, right here, some of you might have seen some of the things coming up around this. The frequency activator, the mothership that I've talked a little bit about, and you can see the sacred geometry symbols even right here that we've actually designed specifically. We have quite a few still coming that we'll be putting up on here, but there's probably like $1 million worth of equipment in here from MIT, from NASA, etc. for the creation I've created for my Frequency Alliance business, which is, you know, get to shift the game of coaching, the game of the healthcare industry, and that's something I want to talk about in a way that you can also support yourself in receiving frequency, some of these things that I do, like I said, on a daily basis to align. So this bad boy right here, bad girl, what awesomeness, I'm going to replace the whole word of bad, and meaning it's like, it's pure like power. This has created a lot of power in this magical manifestation mansion. When I first got the magical manifestation mansion, there was a lot of energy in this space. My house manager actually even found a kit of like those voodoo dolls, and there was a lot of dark energy. I was walking around, I'm like, ooh, that sign, that has a lot of energy. I'm like, that gets to go. And we were finding a lot of like dark energy in the space that we got to clear, and became the most powerful energy, because whenever you take something from a dark energy to light energy and it's fully transmuted back into light, that is when it's the most powerful frequency and energy. And so this whole space, really, when I came here for the first time, we grid activated, we blessed, we've got all sorts of goodies planted around the house as far as like crystals and activating and asking for protection, and just even like salt gridded the space, everything to be able to open and activate this place to be a very sacred place. And there's something to that I want to share with you guys here, in that you have the ability to create whatever space that you want, right? Like what you choose to exist in. And I realized, like, instead of just calling my house a house, why would I just call it a house when that didn't really resonate with what I wanted to create? Like, we literally live in a place that is magic and it's manifestation, and we're worthy of living in our mansion of awesomeness. And so it's like creating the magical manifestation mansion. That's what we call it. And that's spread all over the community. They're like, oh, can we come to the magical manifestation mansion? Or can we do an event there? Or, have a party there, or whatever. And because that's all that I call it, and that's what I say. And it's like, how much more is that declaring the space? And did I want to create it to be a place? When I came in, it's like, when I was actually walking around with my boys and we were blessing and grid activating the space, and I asked them specifically, and I'll actually just share a really cool view with you, Ray. This is one of my favorite little paintings in the house, as well as, if you can see, this is one of my favorites. I'll share this with you while I share this story. I'll come over here so you can see this beautiful portrayal of the feminine, fully in her fierceness and in her softness and in the power of that. So when we were actually in this room, we were blessing this room, and I said to my boys, I said, what do you want this space to represent? What do you want to, what do we create is that you want this to represent and to mean? And my oldest said, no sadness. And I said, oh, that's interesting. I said, okay. I said, so what happens when you feel like you can't experience sadness? And he said, well, you know, like I have to be happy. And I'm like, exactly, like, do you feel like it's okay for you to feel whatever you want to feel if you can't experience sadness? And he said, no. And I said, so what if we choose this space represents acceptance of all things. Acceptance of all things. Acceptance of you in any experience, any emotion. This is a place of love. Because remember, love is the acceptance of all things. It's not, I love you when you're acting this way. It's acceptance of all things. So it was in this space that we actually, you know, blessed this house, this manifestation mansion to be that very thing. So anyways, those are just a few pieces that I wanted to share with you. Obviously, you guys have probably seen the amazing backyard and all that stuff that I've done lots of videos in, and I've got the lights down because I wanted to share. And this is the ceremony room. It was again before the first event that I threw here, where we did a lot of deep activation practices and activating dormant DNA and all these things that I had just couches, leather couches, and different things in this room, and literally like something said to me, "That's got to go." It was like, that room is meant for other things. And I was like, okay, what is that? And it was like, that's a ceremony space. And I have upstairs, you can see those blinds are actually blinds that go right through a wall. That's my meditation room. And so I always thought the meditation room would be this beautiful little ceremony space. It's got these cool like cloud drapes and all this stuff, but it's not a very big, it's a room-sized room, you know. And this was like, it's meant to be this big, beautiful space so that several people can be able to be in this space and to do this type of sacred activation and imprinting and integration work that we know is possible, that opens up who you are and brings you to the core remembrance of who you are. So this is the ceremony space as of right now. You've got the chakra symbols along the walls, as well as some of my favorite sacred geometry and just beautiful things to remind us of the space. Always obviously have candles on when we're gonna rock something out. And then another way that you can just create and clear the space is one, I'll show you definitely one. Yeah, sage. When I actually take this when I travel. I'll take a sage with me when I travel, a little candle and a lighter, and you can sage any room to clear the energy and clear the space. I also, which I'm going to show you, is I always have my Tibetan chimes. And these are just, this is to effortlessly do, you can go into any room, again, in a hotel room, whatever, and you just do a little bang of a chime in each corner, and you can actually, with the sound frequency, clear the space. So I'm gonna set up. The reason I actually was, I mean, this has been coming through me, and I'm like, I've noticed I've had some resistance to doing this because there's some things that I want to share that, I mean, it can be for the person leaning into just shifting their life and be like, you crazy, you so crazy, and I know, and that's okay. I'm like, I have no attachment to that. That's not, you know, my resistance to sharing. It's that it's also a very sacred space. You know, it's usually a place that I only share this type of thing when I'm working one-on-one with a personal client or with a group of clients. In one of my Ascension Adventures, there's just some of these little tools, and yet these tools are so powerful. I've really been feeling called to share with not only having a way that you can access this via video for my personal clients to all of us in the community that are seeking this, that it's like whatever level you're ready for. There might be something here that resonates that you just like, I'll just start with that little inch. I'll start with realizing I have so many things available to me that I get to ask and allow myself to receive. And I also, you might be at a place where you're like, yeah, like the cray-cray really calls to me of like, wow, that's how I can open my pineal gland and I can access more, you know, my consciousness and DNA, and I can do these things to assist me in growing and expanding now. And I have that power and ability right now inside me. So for whatever level this calls to, or I would just contribute to you to just be open and unattached to all things, open to all things, allowing yourself to just see what resonates for you and what message you get to allow you to assist you in receiving even more. So I'll be right back. I'm going to set up camera so that I'm sitting in a place where I can share this with you.